Hello, I'm Daniela, and I'm the founder of Morosity Collection and the author of Not All You Need Is Love. And in this video on YouTube, we're gonna show you first two chapters of my audiobook to see if you like it and if you want to give it a try before you buy it.
Chapter 1, Grandmother's Story. It was a sunny and warm day in May in San Diego, as usual. Victoria is in her lavish but empty house in La Jolla cooking a lasagna for her granddaughter, Julia. Julia has always come every Wednesday to have lunch with her since her grandfather Matthew died 8 years ago. As a good Italian descendant, Victoria Lombardi is a great cook and talker. For Julia, not only the amazing food her grandmother cooks is important, but the great story she tells about her past. But this Wednesday was going to be very different, and none of them knew how this would change everything. Julia entered the house with anger that day. She slapped the door and entered to the kitchen where Victoria was tasting the tomato sauce for her lasagna. Hey, Julia, what is going on? Why do you come slapping doors and with that angry face? Julia was furious and irrational. She sat down at the kitchen table and threw her backpack on the floor. Julia saw her puzzled while still trying the tomato sauce. She left the ladle in the pan and slowly approached her to the table and sat next to her. Victoria just sat there looking at her, waiting for her to start talking. She knew what this was all about. She just needed her to tell her. And then Julia started telling her story at fast pace and with frustration. Grandma, I cannot handle this anymore. I am so upset. And I cannot deal with Mike anymore. I'm so in love. I pay all the attention in the world to him. And he just wants to play tennis and be with his friends, morning and afternoon. And he doesn't understand what I want and how much I want to be with him. I know that what I feel is not right. Is this normal? Am I wrong? Please help me. Julia is only 16. But she has been with her boyfriend, Mike, for 1 year. He is a good kid, the same age, good grades, healthy, and athletic. His only problem is that he is a teenager, with teenagers' priorities. Julia, my love, you are only 16, and he is too. I know you like him a lot, maybe even love him, for real. But don't have to trap him. Love is not that. I am very aware he appreciates you a lot. Grandma, you keep saying this, but he always prefers to be with his friends than me. I have to beg him to be with me. Julia, you are together all the time. You should take the time you are not together to do the things you like that is not him. Your life is so much more than Mike. You also need to cultivate your friends. These friends you have now may be the friends you will keep the rest of your life. Look at me. I am 70, and my friends are the same since I am your age. This time of your life and college will be the best time you will ever get, as you don't have to worry about anything else than just being happy in school with your friends. Your first love may always be like this. It may be frustrating and obsessive. If you don't make anything about it, you always need to look to be happy no matter what. Things that make you unhappy need to be changed or replaced. And it is not always about changing your boyfriend, but changing yourself, how you feel, and how you think. Julia looks at her grandmother with confused eyes. This is not what she was expecting at all. Her grandmother is usually corny and sentimental, but not that much. "Are you okay, Grandma? You look weird. Did this happen to you? Do you also have a first love story that makes no sense?" "Weird? Me? No, not at all. I'm just trying to help." Victoria tried to stand up, but Julia pushed her hard down by the arm to sit her down while laughing. She knew her grandmother was hiding something. "Miss Victoria, I know you are hiding something from me. I need to know now." "Julia, this is the past, and it should remain as such. The past." "I knew it. You were hiding something. You have told me many things about Grandpa Matthew, so I know it is not about him." "Please, please, please tell me. Does my mom know about this? Somebody must know about this." "No, your mom does not know about this story. And if I tell you, you shall not tell anyone. This will remain between both of us." "Please, please, please. I swear I won't tell." "It may be a long story, so we will be here for a while." Victoria didn't believe that she was going to have this conversation with her granddaughter. How did she convince her to tell it? Why now? How did this happen? This story was deep down buried in Victoria's heart. It happened and was buried all these years ago in the past. From time to time, she would remember this over and over in her head. But as she said, the past is the past and should remain the past. She had this motto in her head for probably 40 years now, and now she was going to tell her own granddaughter the story of her first love. First love sounds. Chapter 2, Freshman Year. Victoria finished to serve some delicious-looking lasagna pieces for both her and her granddaughter at the kitchen table. Julia was waiting, eager for this story her grandmother promised to tell her. Victoria had told her already many stories on those Wednesdays for the past 8 years, but this time, Julia was more interested on what she had to communicate to her. "It's time, Victoria. You need to start." "You will not stop, right?" "No." Julia puts her smiley face to Victoria to make sure she would listen to that story. "I guess I don't have any option, but this is for real, Julia. I'm going to tell you, but you won't tell anyone. It all started at college, here in San Diego. It was my freshman year. I got a scholarship because of excellent grades and for playing beach volleyball in the varsity team." "Didn't you know my grandpa in undergrad in San Diego?" "Yes, I did, but Matthias comes far along in the story. So wait." Victoria started to tell the story. Since the beginning of the freshman year, her face irradiated positive energy from remembering those great times in her life. "It all started in my freshman year of pre-med when I was going to school for chemical engineering. I was in one beach volleyball practice with my best friend Lauren. Lauren started school the same year as me. We didn't only play varsity volleyball together, we had the same classes together, and she was my roommate. She was crazier than me at the time. She was the one that wanted the real full college experience. and she started planning this crazy Baja California trip over spring break with some friends on the soccer team. I don't think I can go to Baja California for spring break. I need to study. I have math, one exam the Monday after. Oh no, Victoria, you are coming. I don't care about your grades or you becoming a doctor. I have this same exam. Remember, we study together. We can totally make both. Chris and Drew, two friends on the soccer team that were planning to go to Baja with us, were approaching us. Both had soccer practice close by, and they would usually come to meet us to study together after, as we went to the same classes. Chris and Lauren never had something until after we graduated from college, but she always liked him deep inside. I knew that all her idea of this inappropriate trip to Baja California was for her to get together with Chris. Despite my accurate guess, she kept insisting that it was actually for me, because she knew how much I saw and looked at Drew. Lauren? Is she dead? You don't have a friend named Lauren. Come on, not all my friends are dead. Just listen to the story or I'll stop. They approached us, and I remember being nervous. I always liked Drew since I met him in orientation. But he was very quiet and strange, so it felt like he would never approach me. When they came to us, Lauren let her master plan play out. Chris, are you coming to Baja with the volleyball team? I think most of your soccer team and some others from the tennis team will be there too. Obviously, Lauren, I would never miss it. And you, Drew? I was doubting it because of the math exam. Yeah, same here. But we should go, Lauren. Should be fun. Yeah, sure. I started laughing nervously. As a kid, I remember. I had one of those crushes that I would just smile, even if he said something ridiculous. He was nothing out of the ordinary for most of the people, but I really liked how simple he was, and how he didn't want to show himself as something different, which is something very uncommon to find in your freshman year. They left, and I just realized how Lauren just convinced me to not study, so I could explore my options with Drew. There was no other reason for me to go, just him. I hate you. Now I'll fail because of you, because I'll end up going to Baja with you. You knew I would say yes to this. We're going to Baja! That spring break, we rode down from San Diego to Baja, California with Chris's Jeep. We had an amazing ride down. I was screaming and singing the whole way down. I actually forgot I had an exam the week after, until Drew reminded me when we got to the resort. Welcome to Baja, California. And you were the one that did not want to be with us. This is going to be awesome. At least we will all fail for a good reason. Later that day, most of the varsity team members were hungover on the beach. People get insane when they go to Mexico, and the drinking age is 18. This is a little ridiculous, as I remember all the stories from my Italian mom telling me she would drink wine every day since she was 12, because my grandmother would say it was good for the heart. Maybe that is why I was never interested in the portion of the trip of drinking the whole day, or at least not until later that day. I was not in the trend of drinking until dying. Thus, I just found it appropriate to run and take a break of all the morons in the group. And good for me, Drew noticed. That moment, my whole world changed, and I just didn't know how much just yet. Going running? Now? We're not fun? Got a scholarship to maintain. Yeah, so do I. Maybe I should join you. You're more than welcome, but seems that you would rather stay here enjoying the 18-year-old drinking age in Mexico. Wait. What kind of a person do you think I am? You don't know me at all. I hate drinking. I'd rather go running with you. I swear. You're right. Maybe I don't know you, but we should start. Start knowing each other? No, start running. And yes, maybe some knowing each other along the way. I took a chance and I started running, and I did not look. Chris's version of this moment, or the one he remembers in his drunkenness, was that Drew froze and didn't know what to do, and that Chris forced him to follow me running. Not sure what the real story was there. But what I know is that I was very glad he followed me that day. We ran for around 30 minutes away from everyone without saying a word to each other until he broke the ice. I could barely breathe anymore because he was running too fast, and I was trying to run at his pace at my lungs' expense. Are you okay? I am okay. You are just running too fast. And it was you that wanted to run. Let's sit here. I remember I just fell on the sand in front of the beach. I was really running at a ridiculous pace I could not pick up. Why are you pushing so hard on this? You could be there with our friends having fun. I know they're a little bit messed up now, but you could try to make fun of them rather than isolating yourself here. You do not always need to be the best at everything, pushing for school and worrying about exams. School will only pass through you once. You sound like you know me already. I just want to be good at school, and for that I cannot screw up my scholarship, so that I can do medical research, and why don't you relax? There's so much more in life than a career, money, and just thinking about grades. But people just think like you. They don't enjoy life. Besides, they go and want to just do one thing when there can be so many. Why are you in school then? What do you want to do? I will probably stay for a while because of my mom. She pushes for it. But I want to study photography. I want to get a surfing certification, do kite surfing, travel the world. And I'm going to stop there because he listed around 100 things that he wanted to do. He probably did 99 out of those when he quit chemical engineering. Funny part, after all that, he went back to school to become the CEO of a pharmaceutical company in San Diego. Is he still in San Diego? What company? How do you know all of this? I am telling you only the story, nothing else. Can I continue? The more you interrupt, the worse, because the story is rather extensive. Victoria continues to eagerly narrate her story. As I was saying, he listed 100 interesting things and started to give me a lecture on how people were just made by society to follow one path when there were plenty to be taken. He was very savvy to be 18, and I was just there listening to him and just getting in love with his words, his skin, his smell, his hair moving with the wind. Movie style. Since that run, I fell for him completely. Maybe I already was when I saw him practicing soccer all the time in college. He was not like the other guys in school. He was unique, and he wanted to live a special life, not the traditional one. He wanted to see the world and explore every bit of it, without worrying about what people usually worry: school, grades, finding a job, etc. I think his way of being a free soul was what made me fall in love with him. However, this was the same thing that broke us apart. But that comes later in the story, so I'll stick to the timeline. That night at the resort, I started following Drew's advice of enjoying life and worrying less. I just took his words too literal, and I met Tequila for the first time that spring break party. Now looking back, I do not think Drew meant drinking, enjoying life, but I did that day. Lauren was giving tequila shots from the bottle to all our friends, me included. The worst part is that I really didn't like it. Not until this day I have tried tequila again. When Drew saw my disgusted face and my inability to walk, he grabbed me from the side to help me walk. Oh God, no. This is bad. I was following your advice, Drew. Come, I'll help you out. I think you're done. Victoria? No! Are you okay? Drew, help her walk to our room. This is her first and probably last tequila night of her life. Drew took me out of the party. We were in the hallway walking to the room. I couldn't take it. I had to stop. Oh no. Wait, Drew, I cannot keep walking. Sit down with me 1 second. We're almost there, Victoria. 1 more second. No, I can't. I pushed myself to the wall and slowly sat down on the floor. Drew saw me there, and he didn't have any other option. He sat close next to me. You are so right. We need to live our lives at its fullest, with adventures, love, and experience. That is why we are here for. I didn't mean to live tequila experiences, but I guess it counts. I like you. I like you a lot. Our faces were very close. We both had the intentions, but he didn't want to take advantage of my state of drunkenness. I think you're too drunk. You're not going to remember. I mean, I want to, but you're too drunk. I will remember. How could I not remember this? I'm not going around Mexico kissing people all the time. Drew didn't let me finish my phrase, and he kissed me. And yes, it was not the romantic movie-like kiss. This was real life. I will never forget our first kiss. Not because it was in this amazing movie kiss, but because it was him. It wouldn't have mattered under which condition, which scenery it was. It was him. I only needed him. And yes, it was obviously the first time I drank tequila. And that was also something to remember. Going to Baja California and getting probably a bad grade on my math exam was worth it for what that spring break gave me. It gave me Drew. Sometimes I think that if I would never have gone to Baja, we would not have ever been together. Probably this could have been for the best, given the outcome of our relationship. But at the time, starting this adventure with him was the best thing that ever happened to me.
I hope you enjoy the first 2 chapters of my book, Not All You Need Is Love. And I have put the links to the audiobook or the ebook and hardcopy if you want to get it. In addition, if you join my VIP membership of Morrissey Collection, you could have this book for free in audio or as an ebook. So it's 30 days free trials. The link and all the perks of all you will get if you sign up for the membership are right below. Hope you join us and hope you really enjoy my book.